boxing skills are sublime. No doubt he's pound for pound one of the best on the planet Earth. Crawford is the real deal.
Terence Bud Crawford can't beat no Canelo Alvarez. I beg to defer. He gonna smash Canelo Alvarez, man. I'm telling y'all right now.
Honestly, like, as of right now, I think Bud to beat Canelo. It's not gonna switch. There's nothing that's going to change what I feel.
Prepare for a showdown that's got the whole boxing world buzzing. Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman have thrown down a bold claim. Canelo Alvarez might be hiding a fatal weakness, and Terence Crawford is the one fighter with the tools to expose it. While the masses hail Canelo as a pound-for-pound king, these analysts argue that Crawford's razor-sharp precision and fluid movement could unravel Canelo's legacy in dramatic fashion. Are we about to witness the fall of a legend?
Him back in the ring with Terence Crawford. Not too soon. Maybe you take a year off and then come back and work your way to the 154, 160 division, and Terence Crawford be there and y'all want to meet again. That's cool. That's cool. But you don't need to be going back in the ring with him this December. I know that much.
Stephen A. Smith goes straight for the jugular, calling out Canelo's heavy reliance on power punches. He insists that brute force alone won't cut it against Crawford, who thrives on intelligence, movement, and pinpoint accuracy. In Stephen's eyes, Canelo's predictable approach is tailor-made for Crawford's skill set, and the Mexican superstar could find himself outsmarted when it matters most.
You got a love for boxing.
Yes, love boxing.
Who gonna win the fight, man? That's coming up, the biggest
Crawford.
fight in boxing.
Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
That's right.
When I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite his greatness, and a neck as wide as Broadway for crying out loud.
Right.
It's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yeah.
That's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's gonna go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight, and Crawford is not. And Canelo is a genius in this regard. You don't see him show up for fights not ready. He's always ready.
Always prepared.
He's always ready. He's always
that.
prepared. So I think he's the slower fighter, though. And I think that Crawford is brilliant as a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's faster.
Max Kellerman sharpens the analysis further, framing this fight as a masterclass in skill versus raw strength. He spotlights Crawford's jab as the ultimate weapon, dictating distance and pace, while noting that Canelo's jab has lost its old snap. For Kellerman, the real battle isn't about size, it's about who can adapt, think, and execute under pressure. Crawford's tactical brilliance could be the equalizer that tips the scales.
Crawford. Best defense. Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo. And earlier in his career, Canelo. But he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring. But, you know, early in his career, he had a problem with that and was much more comfortable counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size. size and, as a result, physical strength and punching power. Canelo also has a great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him.
Timothy Bradley Jr. brings a historic twist, comparing the skepticism around Crawford to the doubts Muhammad Ali faced before toppling George Foreman. Bradley believes that, just like Ali, Crawford's greatness won't be defined by size, but by relentless preparation and strategy. He points out that Crawford has spent a full year laser-focused on this matchup, echoing the kind of dedication that creates legends.
They said Ali couldn't beat George Foreman. Yep. They said that Jack Dempsey couldn't beat Jess Willard. Yeah, 6'6", Jess Willard, 250 plus pounds. Little old Jack Dempsey knocked him out. Yeah, they saying Terence Crawford can't beat no Canelo Alvarez. I beg to differ. He gonna smash Canelo Alvarez, man. I'm telling y'all right now. He gonna smash Canelo Alvarez. It's not gonna be a fair fight. I promise you that. It's not gonna be a fair fight, because the minute he get acclimated to that punching power, it's gonna be over for Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, that wide swinging left hook, them big looping right hands. Oh, he can straighten that right hand. You don't think they're gonna be ready for that? Crawford and his team are the best in the business. Yeah, best in the business. Crawford has trained for this for an entire year. 1 year for one man. Thinking about him every day when he's out there grinding, watching video, studying film. Yeah, everybody talking about the weight. Ooh, the weight, he too heavy. Tell, it was weight classes for a reason, and all of this crap. Man, you think greatness is just built on just being comfortable? Greatness is built on being uncomfortable. Yeah, before we even landed on the moon, it was an idea, right? It was an idea, and then they brought it to life, and we landed on the moon. I know there's some conspiracy theories out there saying that we didn't land on the moon, but you know what the hell I'm talking about. You get it? Yeah, we talk about size. Like, size is everything. What about skill? What about mentality?
Bernie the Boxer isn't buying the Crawford is too small argument either. He reminds fans that Crawford has already proven himself against bigger opponents, and that his ring IQ and adaptability are his true weapons. Bernie claims that Crawford's team is outmaneuvering Canelo's camp behind the scenes, and that mental sharpness will decide who walks away with the win.
Crawford, you've seen him in the gym, but have you seen the best Crawford under the lights, you think?
When they say the best Crawford, I don't know. I like all Crawfords, how you do. You know, that's what makes him a dynamic champion. You know what I'm saying? The best Crawford is what it takes to win. You know what I mean? Now, some fights are more interested than others. As far as, like I say, the fight with Klimov was a kind of a slow fight. You know, and maybe the Madrimov was a slow fight. Benavidez was kind of a slow fight until he knocked him out. But he was doing a lot of great things in there, so... Buzz fights, they always excite. You never know what's gonna happen in those fights. So the best Crawford he's always at his best.
PHX Patriot, thank you for the $2. Get the likes of BMB, best in the biz. Something when Bud walked Canelo down. No way he's too small. Fire. Let's go Crawford.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people do say that. A lot of people are saying that they don't think that the walking down situation will happen because of the wrestling background, the grapplings, the tactics, you know, the balance and stuff like that. Stuff that Bud knows how to do because of his, you know, wrestling background. What would you say?
Man, I don't know nothing about no wrestling background. I mean, he did wrestle but he was not no national champion wrestler. He was not no real high school wrestler where he was wrestling all his years in high school. He wrestled. The man is just a freak of nature. He's an athlete. You understand? That's what it is. So his specialty is boxing. Okay, now he's strong as an ox. That's where his shit coming from. So they're not wrestling. It's not gonna be no fucking wrestling. You feel me? He doing strength and conditioning training. He's strong as an ox, like we already know that. His hands is like baseball mitts.
Canelo himself is taking nothing for granted. He's shown respect for Crawford's skills, acknowledging that at the highest level, it's not just about size, it's about who can adapt and execute. Canelo's intense preparation signals that he's not relying on power alone. This is a fight where both men are pushing themselves to the absolute limit, and fans are in for a true clash of titans.
Me, because Terence is a smaller guy, and why do I need to fight this guy? For you, what changed? Tell me about the moment where you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll do this. This sounds like a good idea.
No, if you're thinking about it, look how big turns this fight. It's a big fight. No, that's why it made me change. But you know, I've been in key situation before, jumping weight classes, and when you're a good fighter, that doesn't matter. So I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna focus on training very hard because Crawford is very good fighter.
Yeah, tell me about your experience with that, because now it's reversed. He's coming up in weight. What could be dangerous? What aren't we seeing that maybe you see in this fight?
No, everything. He's a good fighter. Obviously, I know that, and I need to be careful. I need to be careful in everything, so I see everything. And
Shakur Stevenson, who's seen Crawford train up close, is fully backing Bud. He reveals that Crawford has been dominating sparring partners as big as Canelo, proving that he's not just surviving, he's thriving. Stevenson argues that Canelo's legendary chin won't matter if he's getting tagged with surgical shots all night. In his view, Crawford's accuracy could be the key to breaking through.
Honestly, like, as of right now, I think Bud to beat Canelo. It's not gonna switch. There's nothing that's gonna change what I feel.
You've been feeling like that since day one. I think, but now nobody never thought about that fight like that, because when you were saying nobody was thinking about that fight because not even Crawford.
Crazy. Thought I was crazy.
I still think it's crazy though. For me, I still think it's crazy. But like you said, I'm not in the gym. I'm not in the gym.
Yes, you have to see him, man. The people he spars, everybody that Bud Crawford spars, is the same size as Canelo. Like all these guys that he's sparring is bigger guys. He don't even he do spar with people his size sometimes, and sometimes he getting it with me. That's strictly for skill. That's strictly to keep his skills, his hand speed, the IQ level up. But the people that Bud Crawford spars is big ass dudes, and I'm watching what he can do in the ring and sparring. It's nothing that's gonna change come fight night. And I hear y'all say that the 16s and the 8s is different. I agree, but y'all gotta realize Bud got on 8s too.
And the chin also. Like Canelo Alvarez got one of them chins, man.
Bud got on 8 ounces too. And you can have all the chin in the world. I don't give a fuck who the fuck you is. If you get punched by the right motherfucker, you gonna feel that shit.
But that's the thing. He got punched by the right motherfuckers in Triple G and Kovalev.
Okay, and you don't know if Bud gonna crack him with a cleaner shot.
Legendary commentator Jim Lampley adds a dose of realism, cautioning that natural size and strength can't be ignored at this level. While he respects Crawford's genius, Lampley believes Canelo's experience against bigger fighters could present an obstacle too tough to overcome. He frames this as the ultimate test. Can pure skill really conquer raw physicality?
The conversations, I'm sure Jim will be hearing them abound. What do you think about the fight now that you just witnessed Canelo Alvarez again in the masterclass performance?
I love Terence Crawford, and I want him to have what he wants. But off of what I saw tonight and what I saw in Los Angeles last month when Crawford was fighting Madrimov, I am more than ever concerned that he's not big enough, and not big enough to be able to move around the ring and muscle Canelo in the way that he would have to ward off those really vicious inside power shots. I might have thought a few months ago that I would give Crawford a logical chance to win the fight. He is the most skilled pound-for-pound fighter in the world, but I just don't think he's big enough and strong enough to take on Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds. And so far, Crawford is 154-pound fighter who's only been to 154 pounds once and didn't get a knockout. So, I just don't see it at this moment. I think there is a very obvious assignment out there for Canelo Alvarez, and it isn't Terence Crawford at this moment.
And that's the pulse of this epic matchup. This isn't just a fight, it's a battle of legacies, strategies, and willpower. Who will rise and who will fall? Drop your predictions in the comments. Hit that subscribe button for more electrifying breakdowns, and get ready for what might be the most unforgettable fight of the year. Punch, box.